In the last segment, we talked with journalist Sarah Jaffe about reasons to be hopeful and the exhilaration of revolt. Now, there are reasons to be hopeful, or as the late singer Ian Dury would say, reasons to be cheerful. I'll give you some reasons to be cheerful right now and reasons to be hopeful. They come from polling data that shows us that we live in a very left-wing country, this United States of America. I got these statistics. They were pulled together by Warren Gunnels, who I worked with on the Bernie Sanders campaign. He's Bernie's Senate Chief of Staff. And Warren says, best ideas to beat Trump, and he lists them. I won't necessarily do them in Warren's order, but 72% of voters want to expand Social Security. 70% of voters want Medicare for all. 60% of voters want tuition-free public college. Let's see, 57%, nearly as many, want to break up the big banks. 58% want a $15 minimum wage. And by the way, that's just a start, because you can't live on $15 in most parts of this country, especially most cities. So 15 is a baseline. We've got to get everybody to a much higher wage. Let's see, yeah, 65% want a job guarantee, meaning that the federal government would employ everyone who wants a job and is able to work, regardless of whether they can find a job in the mainstream economy or privatized economy or not. Oh, and also, let's see, 64% want to legalize marijuana. So number one, Democrats, you want to win in 2020, there's your platform. Now, will it be the Democratic platform? I kind of doubt it, given the fact that we've got so much money in the political system, given the fact that there's such legalized corruption. And when I say legalized corruption, there was a story recently that, let me see if I can find it. It basically said that, people found that more ex-members of Congress were looking for jobs as lobbyists today, this month, than ever before in history, that more than 20 former members of Congress, regardless of party, were out there hitting up lobbying shops, trying to get a job on K Street, lobbying their former colleagues for big corporations. See, folks, this is legalized corruption. It's legal to do that, but it means they spent their entire time in Congress making sure they didn't annoy the corporations that they hoped would be their meal ticket someday. Now, it's gotten so bad that, according to experts, it's a more competitive market for ex-congressmen on K Street than they've ever seen before. So it's going to be tough for them to cash in quite as much as their predecessors have. But I trust them. I believe they'll find a way to cash in and make money off their public service. And look, let's face it, from the top down, politicians of both parties have been cashing in out of this legalized corruption system for years, and I exempt no one from that. Bill Clinton has made tens of millions of dollars. Hillary Clinton had those millions from those Wall Street speeches, sensitive subject, but worth being raised. Now Barack Obama is giving high-priced speeches for the same folks. This is not the way to run a political system, nor is it necessary. I yearn for the days when ex-presidents would behave the way, for example, Jimmy Carter has behaved. I yearn for the day when they're satisfied to be professors somewhere, or just to live on their presidential pension, which is pretty rich and not a bad way to live. So we don't have to have the system we have now, but we've been ingrained to believe it's the system we want. The great news is always is that the people are way ahead of the politicians. And by the way, since we talked a lot with Sarah Jaffe and others on this program about saving the planet, and my view that Green New Deal isn't a big enough framing, we really need a planetary war framing for the climate, it's good to know that the Green New Deal has strong bipartisan support. I'm looking at a study showing that, I'm trying to see right here, who did it, overwhelming support for the Green New Deal. 81% of registered voters say they either strongly support or somewhat support the idea of a major mobilization of government on the scale of the New Deal to fix the climate and get us over to more climate-friendly fuels and so on. Supported strongest among Democrats, 92%, which makes you wonder why they didn't go ahead and approve that Green New Deal special committee the way it was supposed to be approved, but also a large majority of Republicans, 64% support the Green New Deal. Even conservative Republicans, self-described, 57% of them support a Green New Deal. Takeaway is Americans want a just society and they want to save the planet. Let's go out and make it happen.